Every 3 seconds, someone develops dementia. Think about that. Every 3 seconds. It's a startling statistic and one that will continue to grow over the next several decades.
And it's one reason why a Grand Rapids man decided to make the most of the time he has left with his mother, who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He started a podcast with Mom.
Started on that one today.
Ginger Sisson is a retired school teacher and librarian. One of her favorite things to do is read. One of her least favorite things is looking for her book.
It's like, dang, what was I going to come over here for again? That, and so I was going to go get a book, but I can't even remember that I needed the thing.
Ginger has Alzheimer's.
It angers me a lot of time because there's no way to fix it.
Ginger is 80 and now lives with her son and caregiver Christoph, who has come up with a very unique way of supporting his mother's dementia.
On this show, we share Ginger's journey.
He's created a podcast,
This moment of clarity.
with Ginger as his sidekick,
Well, I think you can read it.
called Living with Alzheimer's.
How do I get from there to...
The purpose is to provide information to other families with Alzheimer's.
It's just been a wide variety of topics that we've covered.
From diagnosing dementia to research to sharing memories.
We went to Grand Canyon.
But one thing always seems to shine through. Ginger's sense of humor. Like when she forgets people's names.
I had their names. I didn't know which body to paste them on.
Oh, okay.
And then I finally said to myself, the heck with it. 2 of these people aren't real smart to begin with.
Ginger actively participates in each podcast, which benefits her son Christoph just as much as it does Ginger.
There's still so much of Ginger in that conversation. We laugh. We have a good time while we're doing the podcast as well.
3 blocks away from house.
The podcast takes place at their kitchen table at 2 in the afternoon.
I gotta see it.
It's the time of day Ginger is most like herself, before her sundowning occurs. It's a condition many Alzheimer's patients have. Sundowning happens in the late afternoon and evening as the brain gets tired. Those suffering from Alzheimer's can get restless and lose their ability to remember. Christoph recalls one moment that brings him to tears.
There was a day in 2019 where my mom looked at me and said, "Your name might be Chris, but you're not my Chris." And that was hard because she didn't recognize me that day.
It's not easy watching your loved one slip into the darkness of Alzheimer's disease.
I have 3 kids, and this is one, and 2 more. And they don't see enough of me, I don't think, to know how severe it might be.
Or
Before she was diagnosed with dementia.
how many more podcasts Ginger has before her memory completely fades.
We'll see you next time on the Living with Alzheimer's podcast. Until then, here are some words of wisdom from Ginger.
Just relax, let him do the work.
Wow.
Relax and let him do the work.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
I love them already. I love them. Wow.
Such a great little podcast.
Yeah.
You know, there are currently 5 million people living with dementia, and that number expected to triple to 15 million in the next 40 years. As you know, Kirk, I recently lost my mom to dementia, so special connection to this story.
Absolutely. And I love how she's still she's self-aware
Yes.
of what's happening, but she tries to keep her sense of humor about it when she can. You know?
She really does, and so very unique. So